Hi, welcome to day 13. Stuck in California until I reach 100,000 subscribers. Sorry, I had to change the time few times. As you know, I'm on the road and I run into some challenges which doing this live stream, which I don't want to talk about because that would be boring. We can get right to the topic. If you don't know me, my name is Anuj, and I'm traveling to all the 50 states of the United States in order to spread the awareness on discrimination against high skilled workers based on their country of birth. And I'm in my 37th state for 13 days now. So I have been to all these states spreading awareness, but even the people who are stuck in this green card backlog because of this kind of a discrimination, even they are not aware about that. So while I'm trying to spread the awareness to Americans who can vote, even if people who are stuck because of this discrimination, even if they are not aware, then the impact would be very less. So I gave myself this challenge that I'm gonna be in California until I reach 100,000 subscribers. So if you are just joining, please subscribe if you haven't, or tell others, anyone who you know who is in favor of fairness, to subscribe and familiarize with this issue. I'm doing live stream every day and I'm talking about different things every day. And today I'm going to talk about that any major change, right? Anytime there is something is wrong, there are a lot of people who are benefiting from that what is wrong. If you think about slavery, right, that it was wrong, but some of the slave owners, they were benefiting because of that slavery. So anytime there is something big like that, when even if something is wrong but a lot of people are benefiting because of that, changing that requires some kind of sacrifice, sacrifice of time, sacrifice of money, sacrifice of energy, sometimes all. And there is one more thing. There are many more things, but there is one more thing I'll talk about in the end. But let's just talk about the first three first. you know. For this, let's do a thought experiment, right? So this question came right when I was doing a protest in Sacramento. Some of the guys came to support me to do the protest along with me, and we hanged out afterwards, right? And this question came up, or not a question, just an idea from someone that that's the question for you. Think about for a second that how much money would you give if someone gives you green card today? If you are not a U.S. citizen, if you don't have a green card, and if you haven't filed maybe change of status yet, think about this: that if someone is giving you green card today, how much money would you give? And this person was saying that he would give 100,000 today, which made me think that in a way it sounds a lot of money, but giving a thought, I would do the same, even though it's a lot of money and it would be hard for me to come up with this money, right? Why? It sounds a lot of money, right? But why? So let's say that if nothing changes, most of the people who hasn't filed the change of status yet, they're not gonna get green card at least for 5 years. This is very liberal number, that they're not gonna get at least for 5 years. Now think about that, that if you have a green card today, then you can easily recover that money in the 5 years, right? If you have a green card, you can easily increase your income by 20,000 by per year. So in 5 years, you will recover it. And this is even not doing anything different. Even if you qualify for a lot of jobs which you don't qualify today, because a lot of companies don't want to do any kind of sponsorship, you would easily increase your salary by 20,000 without doing anything extra. Or even if you want to, someone wants to start a business or something, not a crazy, even small, they can easily increase their income by 20,000. But also think about that, all the stress and all the things which comes from like maintaining your status while you are on the visa for 5 years, you won't have to go through all those for 5 years. So you are like paying one-time money to not go through that all the pain. You are like giving that to not lose your hair or not gray your hair, right? So all those things, if you think about it, that would be worth it, right? But what is the number you come up with, right? Like maybe like you are a student and watching that, what is how much money would you give if they are like giving a green card today? That's the thing you need to think about today, or like anytime you get a chance. But let's just go with this 100,000 number, that okay, I would give 100,000 if they are like giving me a green card, to not go through all this trouble for several years. Now, a different question, like whatever number you came up, I'm gonna use 100,000. Like, let's say someone comes and says that if you can work 1 hour a day extra, not a labor work, just kind of like some work you are used to do. If you work 1 hour extra each day for a year, they will give you this 100,000 or whatever money they, yeah, whatever number you came up with. Would you do it? I think I would do it, and many people would do it, right? Because right now we are like working kind of like 8 hours and making around 100,000, or maybe you might be making more, but that's kind of like average number, that we are working 8 hours and making 100,000. So if someone is giving you 100,000 for just working 1 hour extra, I think most people would do it, right? So then the question is that, would most people spend 100,000 to fix this issue? Or would most people spend 1 hour a day every day for a year to fix this issue, right? Even let's say forget about spending 100,000 a year, even if you like not spending 100,000 a year, just doing, if a million people are spending 1 hour every day, I think that this issue will solve in like 6 months. A million people are doing that, right? But right now you see that I have been doing this for a long time. I only have 1800 subscribers. That kind of like gives you an idea that how many people are actually active about it. Now if you are like, I have been talking about that if you're just thinking in terms of like green cards, then it's like hard to find that motivation, right? But I would say that and I'm not asking anyone to spend like an hour every day, because that would be asking a lot. If you are doing that, that's great, right? I am spending more than like an hour every day on this issue. But I'm saying that at least everyone should commit at least 5 minutes a day of doing this, and that will make a huge difference if a million people are doing it, right? And like if you need a motivation, think about that whatever you do, if you spend 5 minutes a day, if it saves someone's life, would you do it? And this kind of thing, stress is like killing a lot of people, right? Like not immediately, but it's like killing people internally, like and like a lot of people are suffering, right? Like a lot of kids are suffering, right? I came across some stories that the people in the backlog, their kids, they cannot work while their friends are working who are US citizen, and then they don't understand all this issue, that why my friends can work but I don't. And if you save all these kids from going through this kind of feelings, would you do it, right? And one of the reason people are willing to spend 100,000 to get the green card, but not willing to spend 5 minutes, is I guess the reason that if they spend 100,000 and if someone is giving them green card, it's guaranteed green card, right? Right now, people are not spending 5 minutes because they think that, oh, if I spend a 5 minutes a day, would it change it? Would that give them a result? So it's kind of like depending on this results is like stopping people from taking the action. I think that if people are spending million people 5 minutes a day, that will bring like solution immediately. But this like dependence on surety or dependence on the result is stopping people from taking this action or like committing to like doing 5 minutes a day, that's stopping them. But I guess that rather than stop thinking in that terms, if you focus on that, is this something wrong? Do you believe that it's something wrong? And if you don't believe that, maybe you haven't researched much. If you research, you might find out. So work on that. That first you think that it's something wrong, right? And if you believe there's something wrong, rather than like thinking that will it bring a result, you are like you cannot fix all the issues in the world, but this is the issue you've been through personally. And then you, if you think in terms that I don't want other peoples who are to don't go through the same kind of discrimination, can I spend 5 minutes to bring that solution for people? And that would be a good place to start. And the last thing I wanted to say, which is stopping people from action, or like what kind of sacrifice any change requires, is that sacrifice of self, right? And this is kind of like the first world issue now, that it's not going to cost your life, right? And I'm not asking anyone to do that. But back in the day, if you had to solve this kind of issue, it would cost your life, it would cost self. Many people lost their lives, right, when they are like fighting for freedom. But that's not the issue today. At least in the first world country, regarding this issue, the most it will happen is that you might someone give you like a mean reply on your tweet or something, right? That's the worst that can happen. But anyways, today it's like not sacrifice of self, but sacrifice of false self, which is like sacrifice of ego. That sometimes we need to overcome this ego. So to give you kind of an example, that at the beginning of this campaign, I have to overcome, right, that in a way, my impression in my neighborhood where I live in Washington D.C. or back home is kind of like Anuj is kind of like the successful person, well-settled person in the United States. But then if I start this kind of campaign, start standing with sign just by myself, that will let people know that it's not all good is Anuj's life. So it's like this false image we have created, which we kind of have to, not we have created, but it might have happened in its own, but it's like something we need to overcome, that okay, yeah, this is the real issue we are going through, and it needs solving. So it's like needs this kind of hurdle to overcome, that sacrificing our false self, or like even doing this challenge, right, that it's like kind of asking people to subscribe and reaching this goal of 100,000, which is like kind of you need to overcome this false self, right? That if this doesn't happen, then what people are gonna think, that like even like traveling to all the 50 states, right? If that doesn't bring any change, what people are gonna think about me, that Anuj failed. But it's just like kind of like our ego tells us to stop doing this, from like protecting our false image. So back in the day, people had to sacrifice their real self, but in today's days, I guess that all it requires is that sacrificing our false self will motivate us to take a lot of actions, right? Uh, Anyways, if you have any questions, leave it in the comments. I get one question today on Twitter when I posted about this live stream, that I know you have 1800 subscribers. How do you expect 100,000? Even 110,000 seems difficult considering the nonchalant nature of Indians in green card backlog. Yeah, that's a great question, right? And I appreciate that questions, and I kind of understand the sentiment. But if we think about that in terms of like we have to reach 100,000, then again it's like gonna stop us from taking action. Think about in terms of that whoever is watching this, and if you think that this is the right thing, this is gonna help us to bring the solution, then have you let any of your friends who are affected by this, have you asked them to subscribe? Have you messaged them? Have you send this to anyone who is not aware about this issue, to familiarize on the issue. So as long as if we are taking action, that my job is to inform everyone, right? Same thing I was thinking in the when I started this campaign, is that me traveling to 50 states, is this going to solve the issue? Then if I had thought in that terms, then it would have stopped me from taking action. But mine is that this is the first step I need to take. I'll take that step and hopefully it will help, which I think it has. So instead of thinking that, oh, we have to reach 100,000, if we think that, okay, have I told anyone I can tell, and it's not just about me or my channel. If you think that anyone else is doing better to bring the solutions toward this issue, like tell about that channel or that organization, bring people to that organization or individual, whoever think is that working towards solution. So our goal is to bring people who are not active at all, to bring them to advocacy, so they we can like bring this change faster, right? It took us years after I living in the United States when I figured out how much of this is wrong. Before I thought that, oh, it's just like everyone is, it's hard to get green card for everyone in the United States. That was my understanding for a long time. It took me a long time to realize that this is only Indians right now is facing these challenges, even if they have cleared everything, followed all the rules, even if they are like qualified in the EB1, they need to wait longer than other people who are like not even been here, only has a bachelor degree and 1 year of experience. So that's something wrong. So I hope that people realize this sooner, hopefully as soon as they come to the United States, or even before coming to the United States, they recognize that this is something wrong, and they find a reason, or they have the tools to bring the change, or how to spread the awareness, and all these things would be possible as soon as we are united together. So hopefully, instead of talking in terms of reaching 100,000s, I'm stuck here. It's costing me money every day while I'm stuck here, right? And it's like me need to figure it out. A lot of things. Still, I'm doing that rather than focusing on will I gonna reach 100,000. So I guess that hope people who thinks that this is the right thing, they start thinking the same way that hey, have I let anyone, or like if you have any other ideas to reach this goal faster, let me know. Otherwise, everyone who is joining online, I appreciate that, especially Ramesh, who is like I see that he is like spreading, at least I know of that, who is like constantly spreading about that, constantly waiting for this live stream. So I appreciate that, everyone who is joining, everyone who is sharing, everyone who is watching later. That's it for uh, today. I think today is Dhanteras, so I was like, it was kind of like appropriate to talk about money. So yeah, think about that number, that how much money would you give if someone is giving you green card today. Leave it in the comments, and that would be like interesting to see that how much money people are willing to give, right? That will even maybe member of the Congress will see that, and maybe they will come up with a solution which helps America, and provide a relief to others, that they might come up with like, hey, if you can give 50,000, we'll make you quota exams, right? You never know, so that's possible. So yeah, leave it in the comments, like how much money would you give if they are giving you a green card today. All right, that's it for today, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Please let others know, and thanks for joining.